Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Lenny and I'm gonna be your host today. What I'm gonna be covering is how to automate getting reviews for your Amazon business. Now you might be like, I know what you're talking about, Lenny. You use the Chrome extension and you click a button to request all of your reviews and you go to the next page and do the same thing. Well, what if I told you that we've made it even simpler? That's what I'm gonna be sharing with you today. I'm also going to update you or kind of cover the top strategies that are still the most effective for getting reviews today, in addition to the one I'm going to be sharing, as well as a cool new feature that Amazon recently released. Then at the end of the presentation, I'm going to answer any of your questions. We'll go into a Q&A. So if you do have any questions for me, make sure you drop them into the chat box. But first up, a quick reminder that we have Prime Day coming up next week, October 13th to 14th. This is going to be a great opportunity for sales for those that are already selling. Now, while there's not enough time to get new stock in or anything like that, I would say just to make sure that you audit your listing one last time, making sure it's as optimized as possible with relevant keywords. Maybe you want to increase your PPC budget so you get more exposure on Prime Day or Prime 2 days. Maybe increase the bids on your most lucrative keywords. And maybe even run some coupons, trying to boost your ranking and do as much as you can now to prepare for Prime Day next week. All these different things will help you prepare for that influx of sales. Now, I want to share with you guys a new Amazon feature that I came across recently that's pretty cool, and it's called Amazon Virtual Bundles. Some of you may have seen this and others may not, as it's currently a beta version. But the easiest way to explain it is, here's a video from Amazon that explains how Amazon Virtual Bundles work.
Some things in life are just better together. Think of peanut butter and jelly, or salt and pepper. These items can be sold on their own, or they can be offered as a bundle instead. Customers love bundles because they can buy what they need together and save. And brand owners love bundles because they can help increase sales and brand loyalty. With the new Virtual Bundles tool, it's easier than ever to create bundles using your Fulfillment by Amazon inventory. We call them virtual bundles because you don't have to package your bundle together. Instead, when a customer buys a virtual bundle, Amazon ships them all the items making up the bundle using your existing FBA inventory. That means you can create bundles in just a few minutes and see what resonates with your customers. No need to change anything about the way you package and send products to our fulfillment centers. To create a virtual bundle, first decide which products will be included in your bundle. You might use a tool like Amazon Brand Analytics to see what your customers are already buying together. Next, use our Virtual Bundles tool to add a title and images for your bundle. Finally, determine your bundle price. Offering discounts can help increase bundle sales. Easy enough. Set up your first virtual bundle today. Customers will love seeing more of what your brand has to offer. Build your brand with Amazon.
Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed that little video. So essentially, the way it works, or what it means, is that you can create bundles on Amazon without having to package them yourself. So some quick pointers on these. This is only available in the US market currently. You do need to be brand registered in order to take advantage of this, and you can only bundle up to 5 ASINs at once, and your bundle can only be priced up to the total amount of all of those products, meaning that you can't bundle together and then increase the price. So now let's jump over to Seller Central and I'll show you what this looks like. All right, so if you currently have access, if you're eligible for Amazon Virtual Bundles, you'll come over to Brands, Virtual Bundles, and this will take you to the screen that allows you to create them. So it's pretty straightforward, but I'll go through a quick example. I'm just gonna click on Add Products, and I'm just gonna filter by our Jungle Snugs. And so let's say I want to add our blue Jungle Snugs, our pink, and let's do 3 together just for fun. So we'll add the gray one as well. done adding products. I mean, you could actually, I could bundle in a keyboard tray or a jungle sticks. I don't know if that would sell awfully well, but we'll just do the jungle snugs. So now we've got our 3 products over here. We can start to give it a name. So I would just call it, let's say, just say jungle snugs 3-pack. I'd obviously build out the title a little bit better than that, but you get the idea. What's really neat is that it gives you the total price of these products. So if I click on that, we can see it's $69.51. So what I might do here is I might offer these together at a discount of $59.99. And then again, it's really neat. It sort of shows you exactly what your discount is of 13% off of the individual prices. When it comes to the bundle description, I would just copy that from one of the existing listings, and then you could do the same again for the bullet points and just kind of copy them and tweak them as needed. You do give this its own SKU, so it does essentially appear as its own SKU, its own ASIN within your account. So Amazon will just create one for you if you don't choose one, but it's a better practice just to create one yourself. So for example, I might call it Jungle Snugs 3-pack or something like that. So I've created my SKU. The next thing to do is you want to select images and layout. You need a main image, and as usual, it needs to be against a white background, take up 85% of that image. So essentially, you know, what I'd do just to be scrappy is I'd probably like Photoshop 3 of these items together and, you know, just upload that image so that you've got an image that reflects all 3, or, you know, go get proper photos done with the products within that bundle. Then you can add up to 8 images in addition to the main image. And I really like how they have shown all of the photos back to back of the products that are in the bundle. So here, what I do is I'd maybe go, I'd like these lifestyle ones. I'd probably use one of each. Then, because a lot of our images here are all pretty similar, I'd maybe stagger it and kind of go like one of them, then one of them, then one of them. Then, you know, that one there, that one's good actually because it's got 2 colors in it already, and let's say that. And so very quickly you can create this bundle, click save. Of course you can take new photos and that kind of thing, but I'm just demonstrating how quick it is to create a bundle from products that you already have, okay? And now essentially I would just hit save and publish. To get an idea of what it looks like, here's one that we created earlier, and this was just the gray and blue snugs. And again, these were just 2 separate images, and I just like jumped into Photoshop and put them all in one images just for the sake of this example. And then I chose some images from each of those individual listings. Okay, so essentially this is what it looks like. Again, it's got its own ASIN up the top. It's got its own SKU. So this is actually a pretty neat feature, something that's pretty new, as I said earlier. But now let's talk about how would you actually use these. I think that virtual bundles would be great to test selling different products together before you commit to doing like actually packaging them together physically and sending it in under, you know, the one ASIN. I don't believe that you can run anything like PPC to these virtual bundles. So I don't think these would replace creating a real life bundle, but I do think it's a great way for testing out combinations of products. I also think it could be a great way to move your slower selling inventory by bundling your slower selling inventory with some of your fast moving stock, and then maybe add like a bit of a discount to incentivize people to buy that. For instance, Jungle Snugs are a good example. Some of the colors sell a lot quicker than the others, so we often end up with a bunch of like one color amassing lots of storage fees and that kind of thing. So we could take one of our slower selling colors, bundle it with one of our better selling ones at a slight discount, and hopefully move some of that stock. So if you do have access, you might consider checking that feature out. I got an email about it recently. I thought it was quite interesting and thought that it would be quite cool to share with you guys. Now, on to today's main feature, and that is review automation. So I think it was roughly late last year when Amazon launched the review request button inside of Seller Central that allowed you to send Amazon generated emails to your customers asking for product reviews and seller feedback. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, so back in Seller Central. Now, if you come up to Orders, Manage Orders, you'll now see, if you've been using the Jungle Scout extension tool, you're gonna see this nice bright orange box here. But before using that, you would have a request review button here. This is what Amazon created. And essentially it was a way for you to request a review through Amazon's system. You would essentially click on this button and I think it was about 3 or 4 clicks that you had to go through to finally request that review. That would automate sending a review request to that particular order or that particular customer, and people could see a great increase in the number of reviews that they got as a result. Now, for those of you that have been following us for a while, we did release a feature earlier this year that automated this process somewhat. And that's what this big orange button here does. So rather than going through the 4 or 5 clicks or whatever it was, every single order and then clicking back to the orders page and going on to the next one, you could now just click this one orange button and it would request all of the orders on this single page at one time. And so, you could do up to 100 reviews at one time. So you could scroll down and change results per page to 100, hit this button once, and then in the background, it would request all of these reviews for you. A couple of notes on this. In order for an order to be eligible, it has to be between, I think, after 4 days to 30 days old. It needs to be within that period. Before that, it's not eligible. Jungle Scout would only detect the orders that were eligible for request, and then it would send out the request, essentially. So you got to admit, that's pretty easy. You press one button, order or request 100 reviews at once, and that's a lot quicker than going through 3, 4, 5 clicks per order. But at the same time, that still means that every day or every other day, you've got to remember to log into Seller Central, navigate to your orders page, and click on that one button up the top. If you get lots and lots of orders, you would need to click to the next page and do the next 100, and so on and so forth. What about if you didn't have to do that at all? Let me show you guys something. So I'm gonna jump into Jungle Scout. When I get my buttons to work, that is. All right. Cool. Now, if you come over to marketing, as of today, you're gonna see something called review automation. So what if instead of requesting or coming in and clicking that one button every other day, what about if you could literally come in and press a button one time and your reviews get requested automatically forever? That's exactly what I'm showing you today. This is a brand new feature of ours called Jungle Scout's Review Automation. And what it allows you to do is to simply come in, toggle on Review Automation, and that entire process of having to come in and request a number of reviews at once is gone. All you need to do is turn this on one time. Every 24 hours, Jungle Scout will send a review request for any eligible orders that are come into your account. So let's dive in and talk about what we've got here a little bit more. So if I scroll down, you see all of your orders which come in from Seller Central. So one key thing to understand is that you do need to have your MWS keys synced with Jungle Scout. In order to do that, you come up to Settings, and then you go to Amazon Settings. And then that will allow you to sync your MWS keys. And I'll show you an example of that. All right. Cool. So settings, and then you come into Amazon settings, and then this is where you sync your keys. I've already done it in this account for a North American account, which covers all the marketplaces within that, such as the US, Mexico, and Canada, and then a Europe account as well. But here is where you would click on Add New in order to add those. Once you've done that, you'll see that your orders start coming, getting synced into Jungle Scout, and we're able to automate the requesting review process. So you can see all of the information here relevant to the orders. You can see the status here. Currently, these ones are pending. The reason being these are brand new orders that are within that first 4 days, so they're not quite eligible. But as I scroll down, you then start to see the ones that have already been requested down here. And so essentially, they're just waiting. We send these requests between that 4 to 30 day window, but we also make sure that those orders have been delivered and that the user has had like a couple of days to actually use the item, so that we're sending the request to review at the prime time to, to give you the best chance of getting a review. Because if they've only just received it, they haven't had a chance to use the product yet, they're less likely to leave a review than if they've had at least a little bit of time in order to utilize that particular product. One other really cool thing up the top here is that we've got this graph here that shows you all of the eligible orders that you have for that day, as well as the number of requests that have been sent. So you can always kind of check in here and see how many requests have been sent. Another really cool feature is up the top here. It tells you the total time saved, okay? And so this is based off the estimate of it taking roughly 10 seconds to click through every single order, click through the multiple screens, request the review, and then click back to your orders and go through into the next one. So you can see I've already saved 49 minutes since I've had this turned on, and over time that really would add up. At the moment, 49 minutes may not sound like a lot of time, but imagine if you were just like continuously clicking and doing the same repetitive task over and over, I'm sure that that would get pretty old. So that's actually kind of cool seeing how much time you're saving here. But really the point is that once you've got this turned on, you really don't need to come back and do anything. Like you can come in and check how many requests have been sent, but really this is a set it and forget it, and it will just automate the process of you getting those reviews. We got so much great feedback when we released the extension. People were talking about how they were like paying a VA to come in and like click on each order previously. I know that Greg was doing that as well, paying someone, I can't remember, like 5 hours or something per week to like come in every day and click on all of these orders and do this monotonous task. The extension greatly saved a ton of time, and this is the next evolution. This is something that no one else is offering, something that just makes it super easy for you just to focus on the items that really will move your business, working on launching new products, optimizing your listing, watching your PPC, doing all these other things that scale your business, and you can just rest assured that Jungle Scout is getting as many reviews for you as possible. So in a nutshell, that is the review automation feature. And let me know if you guys are excited about that one. Let me know if you're gonna be trying that one out in the chat box. I'm definitely keen to hear your thoughts, guys. And I will jump into some questions at the end. All right. I can see a question that says, where do we see the actual message sent to the customers through this feature? I don't have a screenshot of what that looks like now, but you can definitely access it. I'm sure that we'll have one on our blog on the Jungle Scout website, so you can definitely see what that looks like. But the message that gets sent to customers is generated by Amazon. So this is separate to the Amazon buyer-seller messaging system. And this is just an automatically generated message by Amazon. So to be clear, you have no influence over what that message says, okay? This is different to sending an automated email campaign. Yeah, this is something that Amazon sends separately, and they are the ones that control it. So keep that in mind. But we have had so much feedback, and a lot of people have seen a significant increase in reviews through this particular feature. Now, this is definitely my favorite way today in order to generate additional reviews on Amazon. But let me show you, or let you guys know about a couple of others that I really like as well. So we're gonna jump back into Seller Central. Now I'm going to come up to advertising and Vine. And so the Vine program is something that we have talked about before, but it's still a fantastic way to generate additional reviews on Amazon. Essentially, Amazon Vine reviewers are some of the top reviewers on Amazon, and previously only bigger brands essentially would have access to these Vine reviewers, or it was at their discretion what things that they would review. But again, yeah, I think it was like really early this year or late last year, Amazon opened up the Vine program to third-party sellers or people that are brand enrolled. And essentially using the Amazon Vine program, you can give away up to 30 units of your product and to Vine reviewers. And essentially, you'll generally get back a really high quality review. They're usually very, very in-depth, and the number of reviews that people tend to get back is really, really high. It's like in the 85, 90% or even higher sometimes. So out of those 30 products that you give away, you're most likely gonna get 25 plus reviews, which is really, really high. If you think about it compared to something like a promotional giveaway, the number of reviews that you get back or the percentage of reviews you get back is a lot less, and the quality may not be as good. So definitely check out the Vine program if you haven't already. That's a really good one. The other one that's sort of an oldie but a goodie is the Early Reviewer program. So this is for brand new listings, and this can help you get your first 5 reviews, or when your product's brand new, you can get up to 5 reviews using the Early Reviewer program. Essentially, you pay Amazon $60, and then they will incentivize your customers, I think with like a $3, kind of like a $3 gift card in order to leave a review for your product. And so Amazon will continue to do that until you've had 5 reviews, or it's been 1 year, I believe. So for $60, when you're starting out launching a brand new product, it's kind of a no-brainer. You really, at that point, want to be doing as much as possible in order to generate reviews, okay? So the Early Reviewer program is fantastic if you're just starting out and launching a product. All right, so I'm gonna share the last way that you can go about getting reviews today. And that one is back inside of Jungle Scout. So under marketing, you can go to email campaigns. And so you can essentially set up an automated email campaign that uses Amazon's buyer-seller messaging platform and will automatically send communications to your customers. Now, granted, this is not as effective as it once was. You do need to be very careful with the emails that you send. So you can only send one email to a customer outright. But from what we found, people that are still sending one email, if you're using one of our templates here, we found that people are still very safe in sending these out. But these, as I said, are not as effective as they used to be. It is probably my least effective way of helping encourage people to get reviews, but it is still an option if you're trying to do everything you can to get reviews at the start. My rule of thumb would be if I've got a brand new listing and again, I'm being scrappy and trying to generate as many reviews as possible, I would turn them on. If you have got a reasonable amount of reviews and your reviews are kind of like chugging along quite well, then maybe you want to turn them off if you're a little bit scared and you want to make sure you do absolutely nothing to upset Amazon. Then use it at your own discretion. But we do still see people using them, sending out one email that is very, very neutral and still worth having on. It's still, even though the number of reviews it might generate is quite low, it's still, better than nothing. So that's the other way that you can go about getting reviews. But of course, as I mentioned, my very favorite way is using Jungle Scout's new review automation feature that only we have at the moment. So for those of you that currently have Jungle Scout, then you can access that one today. Log into your account, go to marketing, review automation, and then turn that sucker on. If you haven't synced your MWS keys, you're crazy. Just go to settings, then Amazon settings, make sure you sync that one up. In addition to getting access to review automation, you get a ton of other features within Jungle Scout. So let me quickly run through that now. So in addition to unlocking the review automation, you also get things like the sales analytics. So this imports all of your Amazon data, and it also allows you to add in off Amazon transactions as well. So you can add in every single expense and piece of income for your business. And then on one easy to read dashboard, you can see the number of units sold, your profit margin, your return on investment. So this is like a little command center for your business where you can see exactly how well your business is performing. But again, you do need your MWS keys synced. You can also do things like your inventory manager as well. So this helps make sure that you stay in stock, that you're not running out of inventory, which is really important now that we're coming into Q4 and the busiest season of the year. And so those are just a couple of the tools that you can only get access to by using your MWS keys, as well as the review automation function that I shared today. One other point that I want to make with review automation is that it is dependent on the marketplace, or you turn it on per marketplace. So currently I'm in North America and I have it turned on for the North American marketplace. You would need to swap to different marketplaces in order to turn it on for each respective one. So again, for those of you that already have Jungle Scout, you can log in and you can use this one today. Log in there, turn it on. For those of you that don't have Jungle Scout and you're wondering how you can go about getting Jungle Scout, then don't worry, I've got you covered. If you are interested, make sure you go to junglescout.com/pricing. And so you can get that. Our most popular plan is the Suite plan in the middle there for $49 per month. You get review automation and you get all of the tools that I've mentioned. You get the sales analytics tool, you get the inventory manager, and I hadn't even started on all of the other tools such as our product research tools, keyword research tools, everything you need to run your business. Jungle Scout is an all-in-one platform, everything you need in one spot, just for the small price of $49 per month, billed yearly, or you do have a monthly option there as well. So again, make sure to head to junglescout.com/pricing to access that one. Alrighty, so now I'm going to jump into a Q&A session and answer any questions you have. All right. Alrighty, thanks to Rolando. Looks like he's already answered a question here that I'm gonna call out. But yes, review automation will not ask for reviews for returned orders or canceled orders or anything like that. We're making sure that we're only requesting eligible orders that make sense. Muhammad's asking, do we either need to use this feature or the email campaign, or will customers be getting duplicate messages? No, it's okay to use both of these. They are two different systems. The one is through the buyer-seller messaging system. It's okay to be sending one email through that, and then this separately, the request to review function, you can also do as well. It's not doubling up, but we have definitely found that this request to review function is more effective. So you definitely could just go with that one. The other note as well is that if you go to Seller Central and into your orders screen, you will still see that you have access to the Chrome extension, and you're able to still press the big orange button on that screen and just request all the orders on a single page. But we recommend not doing both. It's best just to, either go in and use the extension on inside of Seller Central, or just use the automated review automation, which I don't know why you would still want to go into Seller Central. I'd recommend just going into Jungle Scout, toggling that button once, and then forgetting about it. So keep that in mind. All right, thanks for the Jungle Scout team getting in there and answering some questions. And no, we can't send it on retroactive orders. It has to be, not retroactive, and within that sort of after 4 to 30 day period. All right. Okay, Brandon asks, do you guys have weighted lead time variables for your inventory manager tool? Cool, so I'll try to explain it here without getting without digging into the details too much, as that's not the topic for today, but that's a good question. The way that our inventory manager works is you input in your lead time, how much time you need to get the product ordered and then selling on Amazon, whatever that lead time is. You also input how many days you want to stay in stock. Let's say it takes 60 days lead time, and then you want to be in stock for, generally we would say at least like 90 days, because you want to be in stock for at least the amount of lead time plus at least 4 weeks or so, at least an extra 30 days. So you want to be in stock for another 90 days, okay? So you input those two things, and then Inventory Manager will estimate or tell you when you need to send in inventory by based off of your sales history. And so you can look at your sales history in different time periods based off your sales history in the last 15 days, 30 days, 60 days, 120 days. And so if you're looking at longer term trends, you might be looking at your sales history averaged out over the last 60 days, Or maybe right now that we're coming into Q4 and maybe your sales have just been going up and up and up in the last couple of weeks, then I would set it to the last 15 days and Inventory Manager would update and tell you when you need to send in stock by based off of the sales that you've had in the last 15 days. Because the sales in the last 15 days, you're obviously like selling a lot more than the average over the last 60 days. So it would realize that like, wow, okay, this is a lot more urgent. You need to actually get your order in much sooner. So that's kind of how Inventory Manager works. And hopefully that answers your question. All right, let's see. I'm gonna scroll down here. Alberto says, so is it better now to cancel the email campaign then? Just keep this new feature. Yeah, that's a good question. Again, I would say if you want to play it safe and you already got a good number of reviews, you're past that sort of initial growing stage. If you're wanting to play it absolutely safe, I'd maybe turn off email campaigns. There's sort of like, I've heard mixed things. As I mentioned, I definitely have heard people that are still safely sending one email that's very, very watered down, very basic neutral. But then there are still some people that are getting pinged by Amazon. Generally, what happens is that you would get your buyer-seller messaging privileges suspended for 30 days. So it's not the worst consequence in the world, but again, it depends on how safe you want to play it. But yeah, generally then it's definitely not as effective as the request a review feature, so you may be better off just going with that. Rob says, will there be a PPC automation? We currently don't have a PPC tool, or we don't necessarily have one in the works in the near future. What we do have is that within the Sales Analytics tool, it does import all of your PPC data in, so that when we're doing your profit calculations and all of that sort of thing, you can definitely see how your PPC spend factors into all of that, and that's calculated within your profit calculations. But in terms of PPC management tool, we don't have that just yet. Louise says, how long does it take to run once you have it? Generally, it runs every 24 hours, and then it does a search for how many reviews are eligible within that time period. I don't know exactly how long it takes. Might be like a few hours or something like that. But again, it happens every 24 hours, so it does happen pretty regularly. All right, I can't see the question, but I can see the answer here. This feature is on the desktop version. So yeah, definitely it's easiest to log in on a desktop computer to go into the Jungle Scout app and turn on the feature. All right. Oh, Eugene says, I'm not the primary account holder. Does the automated review request work for all or just for the primary account holder? That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. What Eugene's referring to is that with Jungle Scout, you do actually have the option of offering multiple seats to different people on your team. To get a breakdown of how many seats are available per each plan, make sure just to go back to the sales page that I mentioned earlier, junglescout.com/pricing. It'll tell you how many seats are available in each of those respective plans. But yeah, Jungle Scout is really great if you have a team. Let's say you've got VAs on your team that you're getting to do product research, or you want them to like go into sales analytics and generate reports for you on a weekly basis, or you want someone to go in and manage your inventory, or you want someone to go in and click the review automation button. You can get them to go in and access those features. I feel like you probably can access that even if you're not the primary account holder, but I'm not actually sure about that question offhand. Someone else from the Jungle Scout team might be able to weigh in on that one for me. All right, question from Guillermo. Hello, I have 68 eligible orders, but the system only sent 8 emails. Does that mean the system will send the requests for the remaining orders later? Yes, most likely what's happening here is that it's waiting for the product to be delivered. So it might have been within that after that 4-day window, but it may not have been marked as delivered yet. So we're waiting for it to be delivered because again, we want to make sure that we're increasing the chance that this person, we're trying to make the optimal time to send this review request in order to get that review back. If they send it now, they might see the email, but they're not going to review it because they haven't received the product yet or they haven't tried it. So we want to make sure that it's been delivered first, then it will definitely get sent. But that's the good thing, by going into that view, you can see all of the orders there and which ones have been sent and which ones haven't been. So yes, it will end up sending. All right, so. Okay, Denise says, will this be recorded? Yes, this is gonna live on our YouTube channel, so you'll be able to go back and watch the replay. Let's see, hearing from Louise, it is already working, awesome, thanks for saving me hours. That is awesome. Time is definitely a very valuable commodity, so anything we can do to help you save time, the better. Let's see. All right. Let's see, Judy says, what is a good number of reviews and a percentage should we aim to get? For example, 10 reviews for every 100 orders. Yeah, good question. I don't know offhand. I had seen some numbers previously. I have seen it vary quite a bit. I've just noticed it's definitely been higher than any other method, but offhand I don't have any percentage rules of thumb to kind of give you, because it does also kind of depend on the product and the category as well, because certain products lend themselves better to receiving reviews and that kind of thing. All right, for review automation, can we set up certain days after the orders are delivered? No, currently we don't have that ability. It's all done automatically, but appreciate if enough people would find that feature valuable, we'll definitely take that suggestion on and discuss whether that's something that we could implement, but not currently, no, it's all automated. If the customer doesn't respond, will a second request be sent? No, my understanding is that only one request will be sent. Is there a way to know if the customer responds or reacts to the request? Essentially, a review will appear on your listing is probably the main way. Now, historically, it's not always, it's not the easiest thing to detect. You can't always match the order name or the buyer name on Seller Central to what their sort of screen name is on the actual review. Sometimes it's like you can match them, but sometimes they'll have a different name. But as far as I know, that would be kind of the only way to match it, is to kind of see the review on your listing. Mohammed says, I think the percentage I heard was 4%. That rings a bell as well. All right, and then yeah, just to further up to the follow up to that previous one, we can't track the customer's actions, but you should see an increase in reviews overall. Are you able to add multiple seller accounts into one Jungle Scout account? No, you can only add the one. You can add multiple regions. So like you saw when I went into my settings, I could add a North America account and I could also add a European account. So I can add multiple accounts in different regions, but I couldn't add like 2 US accounts. All right, let's see. Jungle Scout team's answering a lot of questions here already, so I'm gonna go back down, see if there's some older ones. All right, I'm seeing this one from Sean here. He says, so a person can learn the same information as a course on the $1 million case study. I'm assuming that this was probably talking about Freedom Builder Bootcamp or the Jungle Scout Academy. So that's a nice little segue. I'll talk about those briefly while I'm here. So we've got 2 resources that are really helpful to help you with your education, okay? So the first one is the Jungle Scout Academy. And so again, if you're a Jungle Scout member, you have access to this one. And essentially, it's just a huge library of educational videos to help you with tutorials. So you can go in depth into our product, learn about every single tool here, get in-depth tutorials there. We've got a Selling on Amazon A to Z series. So you can learn all the steps from A to Z, product research, sourcing a product, all the way up to shipping, creating listings, optimizing your listings, PPC, everything like that. So it really is essentially a mini course that covers all the steps within Jungle Scout. We've got all sorts of different content in here. We've got, things like selling arbitrage, so you can learn about some different ways to sell on Amazon. We've got mini little like onboarding webinars as well. We've got our Tooltip Tuesday series, which has been super popular as well, helping people get started with Jungle Scout. So there are lots of resources here to help you get started with Jungle Scout, but also to sell on Amazon. The other resource as well is Freedom Builder Bootcamp. So this is separate to Jungle Scout and is our premium course training, which is led by Greg. So let me show you that one. Alrighty, so Freedom Builder Bootcamp is our premium course that goes really in depth into all the steps required to start finding a product all the way to selling. So this is a much deeper dive into the process. We go behind the scenes and you can dig into a lot of the details here. It's led by Greg and Rolando from the $1 Million Case Study last season, if you guys remember that one. And you can go to freedombuilderbootcamp.com to check that one out and see everything that is included. But I highly recommend checking that one out if you like to learn with that additional hand-holding, that additional attention to detail. You get monthly live calls with Greg and Rolando where they can answer all your questions. If you like that level of assistance, then the bootcamp is definitely the way to go if you're interested in that one. But in the original question, you were also mentioning the $1 Million Case Study. So that is also a great resource that lives on YouTube. And in fact, we have a new season of the $1 Million Case Study coming out very, very soon. And that one's hosted by yours truly, just letting the cat out of the bag. But that one will live on YouTube and is again also going to be a great resource. So we've got a ton of different resources for you to learn all the steps. All right. Let's see, what questions have we got here? All right, and thanks Rolando for putting the URL up on the screen. Check out freedombuilderbootcamp.com. Alberto says, any plans to have data for the Middle East and Japan? How about others? Yes, essentially that is our goal, is to cover as many or all of the marketplaces over time. It does take time to kind of get there because we want to make sure we only want to start releasing that data when we're incredibly confident that it's accurate. So we want to provide you guys with the most accurate and the best data possible. So that is definitely our goal, is to cover all the marketplaces eventually. All right. Okay, Lakesh says, I'm just requesting for a few hundred orders in your videos popped up. I have great experience with Jungle Scout one-click review. Request told my review growth is insane from a couple of weeks. That's awesome to hear. So great to hear that you've been getting a ton of reviews from this. And so yeah, if the one click has been working really well for you, then well, it wasn't really one click. It's like one click every other day. Now you literally just have one click. So if you've been going in there regularly, you're gonna love this brand new feature. Okay. If you've purchased the tool. Let's see. Will JS send review requests for repeat buyers? Can we exclude buyers who have already left reviews? Repeat buyers, let's see. That's a good question. I don't know offhand. I think it does exclude buyers who've already left reviews though. Because essentially that would make them not eligible. Yeah, they're in Amazon's eyes. Let's see. I think I'm seeing any new questions here. Maybe the Jungle Scout team has covered quite a lot of them. All right, so I'm gonna start wrapping it up. I've already covered some of the resources that I'd recommend you guys check out. For free, make sure to check out our YouTube channel. And also if you're a Jungle Scout member, check out Academy. If you want additional hand-holding, make sure to check out freedombuilderbootcamp.com for our premium course led by Greg and Rolando. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a big thumbs up below. If you're excited about this feature, definitely give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see or get notified when we release more videos or more webinars like this in the future, then also consider subscribing as well. Even hit that bell icon down below so that you get notified every time we go live. I truly appreciate you guys joining me today. Again, log into your Jungle Scout account, turn on that review automation feature, and just sit back while the reviews come in. Thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate having you. All the best with your selling journey, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.